according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus put before the crowds another parable. The kingdom of heaven may be compared to someone who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was asleep, an enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat, and then went away. So when the plants came up and bore grain, then the seeds appeared as well. And the slaves of the householder came and said to him, Master, did you not sow good seeds in your field? Where then did these weeds come from? He answered, An enemy has done this. The slaves said to him, Then do you want us to go and gather them? But he replied, No, for in gathering the weeds you would uproot the wheat along with them. Let both of them grow together until the harvest, and at harvest time I will tell the reapers, Collect the weeds first and bind them in bundles to be burned, but gather the wheat into my barn. Then he left the crowds and went into the house. And his disciples approached him, saying, Explain to us the parable of the weeds of the field. He answered, The one who sows the good seed is the Son of God. The field is the world, and the good seed are the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are angels. Just as the weeds are collected and burned up with fire, so will it be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out of his kingdom all causes of sin and all evildoers, and they will throw them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Let anyone with ears listen. This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
Please be seated.
We're going to do a little something different this morning. We both work for Lutheran Social Services, so you're going to get a little rundown on Lutheran Social Services. But I have to tell you a little story first. One of the times when I was reading this verse at Allendale, this gospel lesson this morning, and it got to the gnashing of the teeth, and all of a sudden a cat fell off in my mouth. And I thought, I'm in trouble. So,
Pretty literal, I'd say.
yeah.
Yeah. So as we work for Lutheran Social Services, we want to first and foremost let you know that you are the social ministry of the church. And we help you do that through Lutheran Social Services. We have over 30 programs throughout the state of North Dakota. And I want to tell you how much we appreciate the support that we get from Holy Cross.
Holy Cross is one of the churches that give 3%, I believe it is, right out of their budget every year. And that is so nice, because if every church gave 3%, we would be in good shape across the state. So not every church does that. So there's a number of churches that give maybe 1%, a number that maybe give 2%, but and there's quite a few that do 3%, but and there's a couple that do way more than that. But 3% is a good figure. We figured, given that you're given, oftentimes given 10% to the synod itself and that type of thing. So thank you.
We realize as people who work for Lutheran Social Services that we are your hands. We are called and sent out into the world. And it was kind of amazing to me to start to think about all the programs that we have just in western North Dakota. One of our bigger programs is housing. You probably are not even aware that Lutheran Social Services manages or owns over 1,000 units of housing in western North Dakota.
Part of what we're doing right now, well, some of you may have experienced Bobels. Some of you helped us fund the renovation of the Bobels low-income housing. And that was through Lutheran Social Services. It's still owned by the Bobels Housing Authority. But we facilitated a complete renovation, and actually, we are full as of today. which is a big change for us because we've had trouble filling the units up there. Another big exciting one is in Minot. We are taking on what we call the Broadway Circle. We have bought the location of the Hibachi restaurant, okay, and the Gordon's Holiday Spot. And the Gordon's Holiday Spot the old motel will be leveled and taken down. And we will be building a family homeless shelter for 6 families at a time. We'll be building 17 or 18 units of affordable housing that will be much more affordable than the normal rents in Minot. And it will also be behind Hibachi's will be the home for the Lord's Cupboard Food Pantry and the home for the Welcome Table, which is a community kitchen. And then it will also be the office space for Lutheran Social Services and possibly some office space for other nonprofits that work with those populations. So it's a big venture. It's about a $6 million project. I was in development, Jean's in development. We only have the task of raising $750,000 to complete the project. So if you have any extra money around Holy Cross, we would be glad to take it off your hands.
Or personally, we would be glad to do that as well.
Yes, and that's just kind of we need to mention that. Many people give monthly donations just like they give to the church. So if that's something you're inclined to do to support the ministry, whether it's $25 a month, $50 a month, $100. We have one that signed up and did an automatic deposit for $350 here a couple months ago. He wanted to be a major part of Lutheran Social Services. So any level is appreciated, so if that's something you are so inclined, great.
You probably think of Lutheran Social Services and think of adoptions. That is historically what we started out doing 100 years ago. We still do adoptions in coordination with the Village Family Service Center, but our adoptions are way fewer than they used to be back in the day. But we do offer a range of adoption opportunities.
Right now we're doing about 25 to 30 statewide adoptions. Because now a lot of the adoptions take place in the county system. So when they're in foster care, they often, if they're going to be put up for adoption, they transition directly into a county foster home or get adopted out of that system. So you don't, where it used to be all of them came through Lutheran Social Services or Catholic Charities. So
as we walk through the lifespan of a person, we just talked about adoption, but we have another program called Healthy Families, and Healthy Families provides services, a lot of time in-home services for prior to birth up through 3 years of age, and our goal with that is to set positive parenting styles, tips, walking hand in hand with a parent who might be struggling so that we can take care of some problems early in life rather than looking at more major problems down the road in a child's life.
Healthy Families is 100% prevention, and it's a free service Lutheran Social Service provides in a number of areas across the state. It is not statewide, just because financially we can't afford to go statewide with it. I'll also just back up for housing just for a second. Just to tell you, we renovated the old hospital in Stanley into 17 units of affordable housing. We built 2 new apartment buildings behind the hospital in Tioga. We renovated the old Legacy Junior High School in Williston into 44 senior living apartments. And we have about 300 units of housing in Watford City. So our housing is extensive, but I tell you one reason why we're struggling is because of the downturn in the oil. One of the places where we have in Watford City had 125 2-bedroom apartments in it. In 2 months, we were full. And in 2 months, we had 80 vacancies. So that's going to struggle. We actually have to close up some buildings and lock them up until we get some people back applying and that type of thing. I won't mention housing again.
His job has shifted, so he's more into housing now, so that's all he wants to talk about. We also offer therapy services, and during this time of COVID-19, we find that we're all struggling. I talked to my boss the other day via a team meeting on the computer, and she emailed me and said, Jean, are you there? I tried to connect with you and you're not there. I said, well, you have to excuse me, I was in the bathroom bawling. And I think that we all find ourselves in that situation where, for no reason at all, things that are everyday occurrences might strike us a little harder during this time, because every day is a different day, isn't it?
She's also wired much tighter than me.
Much.
So you can get therapy services right in the school, for example. Now we have it lined up where if you have a child that needs counseling, they can actually set up a laptop in a private room at the school. We arrange the paperwork and get that done with parents and that, and we take care of the billing for the major insurance companies and that type of thing. So, but that's available right in the school, but we do have sites in Stanley and Kenmare and all over the state.
Along with that, during this time, we have a program called Project Renew, which means it's a free counseling service. So you can call a number through Lutheran Social Services, and they direct you to one of our counselors who are licensed, and you can talk to them for free about things that are going on in your life, things that you're struggling with, family situations, and that's all provided through some grant monies available right now. We also have another program called Farm to Farm Therapy. Again, the same approach, that is free, and it is geared towards farmers who are in crisis, or farmers who are struggling financially, or farmers that are just frustrated as well. Those are both free services through Lutheran Social Services at this time.
Another program we have is Free Through Recovery, and that is Governor Burgum started a program and the legislature supported a program of trying to work with people coming out of the correctional system and making sure that they're staying out of homes where they're using, or staying out of places where they're going to end up back in prison, essentially. So we work with them hand in hand when they're discharged from prison or they're put on probation to make sure they have stable housing, not just any housing, but stable housing. Make sure we support them along the way and walk with them. And it's been kind of interesting to watch some of the people. I had one young woman that had spent about 3 years on probation and wandering around western North Dakota in and out of jails. And she has been in an apartment now for, I think, about 2 years. And she's actually become a peer support specialist and works for us now and doing wonderful. But she lived pretty much from couch to couch for a number of years. But that's kind of what the program is about.
We also have another program called Violence Free, is also through the court system, and it works with people who are, I would say, domestic violence offenses, and provides counseling and group therapy sessions for those people so that they can look at a more positive way to communicate and to come to an end of that violence within the home.
And we don't want any referrals from people. So essentially it's a program when the court finds somebody guilty of domestic violence, that person is required to complete 26-week class, and we're one of the providers that provides that around the state.
And we also work a lot with gamblers. We get, ironically, some of our money to deal with Gambler's Choice, our program, through the casinos, which sounds weird, doesn't it? But we provide, again, group therapy sessions and counseling for those people who have addictions to a variety of gambling issues.
Another program that's kind of similar to the Boys and Girls Ranch is Luther Hall. Luther Hall has been around for years. I'd probably back up to say it was kind of part of our start in some ways, that we turned 100 years old last year. We've been providing services in the state for 100 years now. And Luther Hall is transitioned along with that, and it's a place for 10 to 17-year-olds to get residential care, psychiatric treatment, and that type of thing, and located in Fargo. But given our 100th anniversary, we also did something I think significant. we opened a foster care home in Williston, where we actually renovated a house that we had, the old parsonage for Gloria Day, and renovated it and turned it into a family foster care. We essentially provide the home to the foster parents. They have to be licensed by the state and the county, and they have to take every referral to them up to 4 children. And that's been going now for 2 years, September 1st. And it's been an absolute wonderful thing for Williams County. They have kept it full from the day we opened.
As we go through the lifespan, again, we get to our seniors, and we provide a wide variety of senior services. We often connect them with people who will come into the home and provide errands for them, or just companion services. So one of our programs is called Senior Companions. We have a gentleman in Minot that provides this, and he is very amazing.
Yeah, he works out of the Milton Young Towers, and he provides senior companionship services to over 30 individuals in Minot. He runs them to doctor's appointments, he stops by and visits, he helps them buy groceries, he does whatever they need. The program is not meant to replace the home and community-based services provided out of the county. It's merely to complement. But we have 32 sites across the state where we organize and send out volunteers to visit with folks needing companions.
So that, in a nutshell, in a few minutes, kind of tells you some of the programs that are happening here in Western North Dakota. And we do want you to know that we are the social ministry arm of the church, and our motto or our philosophy statement is that we provide healing, help, and hope with your help.
And thank you.
Yes, thank you. We will have